Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to just first off welcome everybody. A lot of things going on right now. It's been a somewhat hectic week. I was out most of last week due to a family situation, so it's been kind of playing catch up with the Boosterthon. It has created one situation where I dropped the ball, actually, and something we talked about at our last coffee chat regarding the healthy eating that I wanted to tie into the Boosterthon. One of the things we talked about was actually Ms. Kabuka's idea, which I thought was a really good one, was to tie in kids wearing certain colors on certain days and tying in the healthy eating. Well, because I was gone last week, I totally dropped the ball on that, so we are going to do that next year. We have been talking about it on the morning news. We've been talking about healthy eating. Today we talked about hydration and water, so we have been making an emphasis in that regard, but I think it's a piece that we can really add to the Boosterthon process to really take it to another level.
Facebook every
Yeah, in regard to, yeah, we started doing that as well. So that's kind of tied into our school leadership team focus, so that it is on our Facebook page every day. We're putting a daily tip of the day. So it is one of the things we're focusing on. But the Boosterthon's off to a great start. The initial feedback we've gotten, we have matched or superseded all of our goals to this point, which is not really normal in this process. Usually when you get to year 3, you oftentimes will stagnate or even see a slight dip, and we haven't seen that yet. So at this point, we're only dealing with pledges. You still have to collect that money. Now the goal is, I think, around 90%. Trying to get that back. So as of right now, we look to be in pretty solid shape, and a percentage of that the PTO has put aside for the Jimmy Johnson grant, so that will be a nice piece to that puzzle. The students are excited. Obviously, you see that on a daily basis, hopefully. They're engaged, they're participating in what's going on in the classroom. It's interesting to hear at the end of the day when they come on our afternoon news and they want them to do the chant. I can hear it from my office. You can hear A-Hall from my office, and it's pretty cool. If you walked around the building, we have been having a door decorating contest. We will be choosing the winners for that today. They've really gone above and beyond this year compared to what they have in the past. So there's some really intricate doors that you can walk around and take a look at. Yesterday, I got hit in the face with 3 pies. I will show you a picture of that so you can get a quick glance of what that will look like. Three classes got to, based on total pledges for the day, were able to, the teacher was able to pie me in the face. So this is 3rd grade.
Oh, God.
So at the end of the day yesterday, I got a whipped cream, or actually it's a shaving cream pie in the face from Miss Fletcher's class. This is Miss Fletcher. We also had 1st grade Miss Etchison's class, got the opportunity, and in 5th grade, in front of all 5th grade pretty much outside, Mr. McKinley got the opportunity to do it. So that was my afternoon yesterday. Again, we're just trying to build that excitement with the process. I think the Boosterthon gentlemen have done a really good job of building that excitement. They do a good job of, making it run rather smoothly. We've been here for 3 years now, and they tend to build a lot of excitement with it. So it's been a really good fundraiser for the school. I wanted to share the times, but I forgot to bring my sheet. I will be sending a Connect Ed message out to parents tonight to let everyone know exactly when each group is going to be going. It has been out there, but I'm going to send it out again. It'll be on the Facebook page as well. So that information will go out to parents. Each group has about an hour time slot that they will run.
Are they running the whole hour?
No.
Oh.
They walk, they run, they gallop, they skip. Most kids, they say, typically will run 35 laps. Now some kids get really into it and they'll run like 70 because they just go at it.
They run the whole hour.
Yeah, there's water, but it really depends on the child. You can walk, you can skip, you can do whatever you like.
There's a whole process for each class. They start with
they do a skip lap and they do a dance
Right,
lap.
yeah, I was here last year. I saw
Yeah.
that, but I saw somebody had posted that they were only going to run for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think there is some delay time in there too. Yeah.
Time slot.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they were like warming up and stretching.
They do not do warm-ups and stretches. I don't think when they do. I don't think they do.
They
may start with a walk lap.
Yeah.
I think they do a pacing lap with the flag and things like that. But yeah, some kids will go full tilt. So we'll have water out there and things like that as well. So that's Boosterthon. So we're real excited about that. That'll be tomorrow morning. The weather is supposed to be fantastic. actually almost a little too warm. We're supposed to crest into the low 80s tomorrow, so it'll be a lot different than it was 2 years ago when we actually had snow and we had to do it on the blacktop. So that'll be a good experience. We did have a parent university event here last night. We had about probably 20 to 25 parents. The big problem was that it kind of backed up to Bailey Middle School's open house. That was an error on their part. They didn't take a look at what was going on in the system. But it was based on e-readers and the use of e-readers, and really, if you're thinking about purchasing one, the media specialist from Cornelius came over, and it was a joint effort between our two schools, and this really talked about what e-readers were. They talked about some of the websites that are out there in regard to e-readers. I am going to put the link for her Prezi on our website so you can get access to that, but it was a really informative meeting, and actually one of the sites she took us to actually allows you to answer some questions, or you and your child could sit down and you can look at the specifics of what you're interested in an e-reader, and it'll tell you the best purchase. So it'll pull up, like for instance, iPad, Nook, Kindle, and all these different devices, and based on what your personal interests are, or what your needs are, what it's going to be used for, it'll give you what they think your best recommendation was. So I thought that was kind of neat. She also went into quite a bit of what the public library offers in regard to some free books that are out there. You can go on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library, I think it's CML.org or something like that.
PLCMC.org.
And there's actually something called Tumblr books that I have never used, but if you have a younger child, I think it would be impactful. A lot of read-alouds that you can do where you can pull it right up on your computer. It's free, and they'll narrate it for you, or you can pause it or mute it, and your children can read it. But I didn't see as much upper-level materials, but for a younger student, I think it would be really good. There's both nonfiction and storybooks on there, so that was a free resource that I saw through the public library that I thought that was really good. And they talked a little bit about electronic books and things of that nature, and kind of where the next steps are going with the system. Right now, we don't have any electronic books in our library that children can download, but it's coming. Once we go wireless, that's going to be an opportunity. We'll have to start purchasing some of those.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be kind of a new horizon for us. And I learned actually a little bit about that last night as well. So it was a good turnout. The discussion kind of morphed into bring your own devices to school and how that was going to impact things. And we talked a little bit about that at the last meeting. But it was overall a good turnout. So I will make sure that gets out on our Facebook page and our website. But it's a pretty informative Prezi. There's some web links in it. And I think it'll be some good information for you. In regard to the Jimmy Johnson grant, we have raised another $1,000 this month since the last one, so we're up over $6,000 overall. We will have another PJ Day event right before spring break, and the parent that decided to match it last time is going to match it again this time. So you know, that potentially could help us raise another $3,000 toward our goal, in addition to what we'll get from Boosterthon. So, you know, we're on a good track. Remember, at this point, our goal was to not add additional fundraisers to our docket, to try to start with outside businesses, and that's what we've stuck to this point. So our hope is that we'll be able to, you know, really get that accomplished. We have several other grant opportunities that we've applied for through a variety of different groups, so we're hoping that we're going to hit a couple other grants to help supplement us as well. But we're very excited about that. I did bring a picture to show, and I'll pass it around for you to look at. But basically, one of the things I asked was Celeste Doolin's husband, who's one of our art teachers. Her husband is an artist as well, and he does a lot for architecture, for architects and different things. So I basically sent him our schematics of what we were looking at, and I said, you know, can you give us a visual so I can share it with parents and let them kind of see what this is going to go to, or to, you know, to make it go away from the abstract and make it more concrete for people to see. And he did make a rendition for me that I'm going to pass around. There's a couple different ones. This is the one he did. I have it electronic too, but I'll pass this around to look at. But you can see on here, it's going to have 3 phases of our playground. There's a track that goes around the playground. This is going to be the science area, which can be used for multiple things. And obviously, due to our wireless, you know, students will be able to bring iPads out to this area and use this area as a learning area at times when we need to. So this is just kind of gives you a general idea of what it could look like potentially when we're done with the project. And I'll pass that around, and you guys can take a look. And I'll start right there.
That science area that you're talking about, is that the same one that was supposed to go
No,
back
that's
to-
still happening too.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. What Ms. Kabuka is asking about is I have an Eagle Scout that's actually putting a science classroom area over by the mobiles in the back of our building. That is happening this summer. He has had his project approved. Right now, because it's a freestanding project, we have to get zoning approval from Cornelius. So it is now there. He's working with an architect to make sure that it will pass all the zoning requirements of Cornelius, which are kind of interesting. So they are going to go through that process now, but it has passed from the Eagle Board. And so this summer our plan is that will be started too, and that's going to be a separate area. There's a fenced-in water collection area, and it'll be right outside that water collection habitat, so right by the football field kind of, and it's going to have some benches, it's going to be landscaped, and that's going to be another learning area outside, which is the goal to use our space. Yes?
This wall here with this person, what is that?
It's a
gonna be
climbing
rock wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that's not.
I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they got a handball.
No,
court. I
and some of
can
that
do
stuff
this.
he took discretion on.
Yeah.
And what I told him was, I gave him all of our information, but there are some things in there that may not be exact. Now this is another one that the playground company
That is
did
pretty
that
exact.
can be closer to exact. I'll pass it around this side, and we'll go around the other way. So we wanted to give parents some visuals to tie into what the project is when it's all done.
Will they be posting those next
Yes.
to the little?
Yeah, actually, yes, we are.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
we have a bigger one we're going to put there, and we're going to actually send it out. I'll probably put a link to the Hawkeye. And
There'll
do
be
some
a link to
different
the Hawkeye. There'll be the playground companies donated a full-size poster to put out so that you will see this.
So exactly, since we're not going through and trying to get anything from parents, what is the process as far as getting from local businesses or corporations or whatever? I just know that, like bankers especially, because my husband is one, that they work with a lot of, business bankers, they work with a lot of businesses, and I'm sure there's other parents
Yeah.
who do that. If there's a letter that's drawn up, because that's what we did at our old school, and presented it to local businesses,
That's
and
exactly what we've done.
and
Yeah, so if you need one, we can get them to you. Parents have been asking me for them, and we have them. We've actually been going, our PTO fundraising group has been going door-to-door, meeting with people, giving letters out, mailing them out, and we've gotten quite a bit. Do you have a list on you right now, by chance?
Not with me.
We are going to post them.
We're up to we're over 15.
I know in the last
donations.
month, groups like, oh my goodness, I can't remember, Dr. Allen,
Ace
Yeah,
Hardware.
there's
Ace Hardware donated
Ace
recently.
Hardware
Wells
donated.
Fargo.
Right, I
was our
saw the
last- was a
list of
matching
the one
grant.
that's
Was a
posted.
matching. Wells
That's
Fargo.
yes.
Yeah.
Right, but so who would I get a letter from if I
You can
need
get one
a-
from me or Miss Chuka.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but that's how we're doing it. And we're sending letters out, and it's actually working.
It works really
yeah.
well. My husband had a great luck. I mean, he wasn't even part of our fundraiser that we did for our booster-thon. Well,
Right.
we didn't have a booster-thon. We
Just
had
a
a
fun run.
fun run. But
Does
it
he
was
work
to
for
raise money for a playground in California, and my husband took and passed it out to all of his customers, and they were really receptive and very helpful.
Yeah.
So
And now-
it really does work.
Where's your husband work for?
Community One.
Yeah, and it's the other thing is, and I have talked to a few parents that are business owners, just kind of picking their brain about how the best way to attack it. And one of the parents brought up a really good point to me. He's one that has donated quite a bit to us, and he said, the big issue that he runs into when he talks to his clients is that because we have so many elementary schools in our area, not everybody's child goes to the same school like in some places. So you have, if I'm going to donate money or this business is going to donate money, I would rather donate money to my son's school or my daughter's school, or there's private schools mixed in there and charter schools mixed in there. So he says the need is a lot more demanding than it would be if you had just one local community school. So, he said he's still thinking about it too, but he's going to continue to do things on his end to try to match. But he goes, when he talks to his clients, that's been his biggest challenge, is that, he'll sit at a table with a bunch of people and, this child's parent, this parent's child goes to a private school, this one goes to Davidson, this one goes to Cornelius, and then it's kind of like, well, how do we decide where we're going to try to divvy up our money? So that becomes a challenge too. But we do feel like we're on a good track right now, and we've been able to stay true to the fact that we're not adding fundraisers to our docket. So I'm excited about that.
If we have other suggestions and stuff on how to raise money, who can we approach?
You can email Ms. Chuka or me or Ms. Bossy. Those are the three. If you get me the information, I'll get it to them too. You know, just as quickly.
Because I know, like at our fun run, we asked local businesses to, if they paid a lump sum, they could have a banner posted or set up a little canopy and stuff.
And we have that as well.
And like Red from Red Robin came, and they had a whole little thing set up. And our T-shirts that we did paid $250 to get your logo, and we had 25 of them on our T-shirt.
Oh wow!
And so all the kids got them because you charged for the shirt,
Right.
But I mean it's a little different than what Boosterthon does.
Right.
But it's free advertisement for
Sure.
a lot of local businesses. You can't pay $250 to get something
On the back of
that
all these people's
significant.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to bring in my
Yeah.
samples because I've got still some of the shirts that my kids had from
No, absolutely.
before, and they still wear them. So.
Sure. No, that's a great idea. But I feel like we're in a good place right now with that, so I'm pretty excited about where we're going with that process.